In the past few months, XRP has broken a lot of records, but what it just did has never been done before, and yes, this was something that a lot of people couldn't understand at the time. And I have to say that XRP is showing signs of life that, to be honest, most people didn't think it would show at this point in the cycle, but that's what you need to do when it turns into a coin. Always be ready for the unexpected, because if you don't, you'll be taken off guard and wish you had been ready for the unexpected. Now that we've covered that, I'd like to talk about some current events. This movie talks about the kinds of records that XRP is breaking and a lot more. Make sure you stayed until the end, because that's when some pretty important XRP news will happen. But before I go on, I want to talk about the U.S. Senate Banking Committee, who is asking for clear rules to be made so that the United States becomes the world's crypto capital. As of now, this week is known as Crypto Week. We can see that crypto has had a great start so far. Many cryptocurrencies are doing amazingly well. Bitcoin is setting new records, XRP is almost at $3, and many others are very close to their all-time highs. Let me play this video clip for you quickly because this part is very important. To get ready for what we're going to see later, pay attention. Many thanks to the chairman for setting up this hearing and letting us finally talk about digital assets. There wasn't much known about digital assets when I first got here 4.5 years ago. What little there was fear because it was something people didn't know much about, and some people still don't know much about. Still, the business has grown and changed, and it is now a big part of our economy. Additionally, one digital asset company has now not only made it onto the S&P 500, but it has also moved up to about the 135th spot in the list. That's how big this business is. At least a few companies in the digital asset business are going public this year. However, other countries have been able to set up clear rules for digital goods before the United States. We've let regulatory agencies that don't like this asset use their regulatory powers, like taking enforcement actions, to make things confusing for these industries because they don't know what regulatory framework they should follow and haven't been given clear instructions from the government bodies in charge of it. Okay, cheers to Cynthia Loomis for taking the time to do this. Among other things, she has been very helpful in getting Ripple and all the other crypto companies the structure they need to work well. We're getting crypto this week, which is why it's called Crypto Week. Many important pieces of legislation are being passed, and finally, after years of just regulation, enforcement, and no clear rules of the road at all, we're getting those frameworks. It's great to see that the US is finally doing something about this, and I think that's a big reason why the crypto industry was so excited this week, from Friday to Sunday and even Thursday. It was crazy how many we saw. I have to say that's a big piece of the puzzle here, but it's not the whole picture. Also, a lot of other things are going on at the same time. I mean, Trump loves to take credit for everything that's going on. In Trump way, he says, I'm going to be on TV. I drive the market school crazy. I can move it just by talking, is what he just said. And to be honest, I'll give Trump credit where credit is due. He did promise to provide a clear framework for cryptocurrency, and he did. That's something that the administration before him completely failed to do, and I think everyone in the crypto industry can see that. That's a big reason why he was elected, and he does have skin in the game. He has crypto-related businesses and is launching his own ETF, but I think that's kind of good for us because if he has to follow the rules, then so do we. He can't just break them and do whatever he wants with these ETF, so a lot of them will be released at once, which will bring in a lot of volume. There are people who don't like ETF, though. To be honest, this is how things are going to turn out. We can either go with it or hang back and watch crypto grow without making any moves. You can still use this technology for what it was made for if you are a decentralized maximalist who doesn't like how popular and centralized adoption of cryptocurrency assets makes you feel. Whether you think that's the future of cryptocurrency is up to you. I just said that because I know there are decentralized maximalists out there who are upset about certain things, but at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it. That being said, there's something really big going on with ETF. We just talked a little bit about them. The BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF is by far the most profitable ETF the company offers. Okay, so ETF let you trade assets that you usually wouldn't be able to. The company that makes this ETF buys the asset and holds it for you, kind of like a middleman. This way, you can invest in the asset. There are a lot of different kinds of ETF. There is a group of ETF that hold stocks and pay dividends. Bitcoin ETF are out there. Gold ETF are out there. It's yours. You can choose from a lot of different exchange-traded funds. It's a big deal that the Bitcoin ETF is the company's most profitable ETF because ETF were, and still are, amazing technologies. It gives people the chance to see things they wouldn't normally see, right? In a strange way, buying a Bitcoin ETF in the US has been safer than buying Bitcoin itself for the past 5 years, since no one knew if Bitcoin would be controlled or not. Bitcoin ETF made it easier for more people to invest in cryptocurrency. But now that companies and institutions have seen how profitable Bitcoin ETF was, they're starting to realize that there are a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there as well. They're applying for these ETF, like Solana ETF or XRP ETF, as soon as they can because they know this is like the gold rush, right? A lot of money, maybe even trillions of dollars, will move through these ETF. They make crazy amounts of money from all of those deals because they get their small fee. I think BlackRock has made billions of dollars just from their ETF because of how many trades it brings in. The fees are several $100 million, if not $1 billion. Which is crazy because all they're doing is buying Bitcoin for people who buy the ETF. It's a very simple plan, but any of these other financial giants could easily copy it. They would be really, really stupid in my opinion. Anyway, don't do this. You can have a new source of income where you don't have to do much. Just have one person buy and sell Bitcoin. He will make sure that Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrency is safe. You can also have an ETF with 5 different cryptocurrencies, which is what Trump is doing with all of the American cryptocurrencies, including Cardano, XRP, and all the other ones that are part of this fun crow. You name it, yeah, I think that ETF will bring trillions of dollars worth of trading to altcoins over the long term, not Bitcoin altcoins. There have already been hundreds of billions of dollars in flows to Bitcoin alone. That's a big thing. Okay, I think this is going to be pretty crazy. BlackRock's had a lot of success with their Ethereum ETF, so it definitely needs the attention of all these institutions that could print money for free right now. It's that easy. With that said, what's happening in the crypto market right now is not normal. I think the Kovsi letter did a great job of summarizing this, and I want to read it to you guys again quickly. They said, "This is not normal. We've hit a point where Bitcoin is going up in a straight line. Rates are going up. In 3 months, crypto has gone up $1 trillion and the USD has gone down 11%. What's going on?" Bitcoin is now in a state of what is called crisis mode. It's clear that Bitcoin has hit a point where it is literally setting new all-time highs every day. BTC has gained $15.000 since July 3, when President Trump's big, beautiful bill was passed by the US House. If the rise in the price of gold wasn't enough to scare you, Bitcoin should be. Is there anything more clear than this? Take a look at how Bitcoin and the US dollar index DXY have done so far this year. There were 2 clear points where they were different. April 9, after the 90-day tariff freeze, and July 1, when the big, beautiful bill was signed into law. It's very clear. This is a 90-day break, as you can see from this figure. The difference is right here. As July began, the market learned that the U.S. had a $316 billion deficit in May 2025 alone. This was the third largest deficit on record, but markets stayed hopeful as Elon Musk pushed back on the spending bill. But this didn't last long, and it looked like Bitcoin was rallying on trade hopes deals. But whether trade deals were announced or not, the market saw the same result. Yields were going up, Bitcoin was going up, The USD was going down and gold was going up.